In this video, we're going to use an iterated integral to evaluate a double integral over a general region. So we're being asked to calculate the double integral of y times the square root of x squared minus y squared, where the x's go from 0 to 2 and the y's go from 0 to x. So I drew a picture of the region here for you. Here's the line y equals x. Your x's are going from 0 to 2, so we're integrating over this triangle. Looking at the way that this integration is, the integrand is, notice that we can evaluate the antiderivative for the integrand here easily by using a u substitution. Notice if we try, with respect to y, I should say, we can use a u substitution to integrate that. If you try to do integration with respect to x first, there is nothing to let a du be over here, so we'd actually have to use a trig substitution to do that. I'm going to avoid that if I can, and I'm going to integrate with respect to y first. Now notice the way they also describe the region to us. Our y is bounded by functions of x, and then our x is bounded by constants. So that's another clue that we might want to integrate with respect to y first and then x, but that's not the end-all be-all. I'm looking at the fact that it's easier to integrate this function with respect to y first than it is to integrate it with respect to x first. That's why I'm setting it up this way. All right, so our y bounds are 0 to x. Your x bounds are 0 to 2. I can do this with a u substitution like I mentioned. Antiderivative for that would be a 2/3 u to the 3/2. So that's where the x squared minus y squared to the 3/2 is coming from. You would need to adjust for a minus 2y that comes out for your du. So you'd have to divide by a negative 1/2 out in front. Divide by a negative 2. Multiply by a negative 1/2 out in front. So you take negative 1/2 times 2/3, you get negative 1/3. So that's where the constant negative 1/3 is coming from. Notice in this case, when you plug in x, you get 0. When you plug in 0, you'll get x cubed when you simplify this. And you have minus a minus that, so that's where the plus 1/3 x cubed comes from. Antiderivative for that is 1/12 x to the 4th. Plug in 0 and 2, and you should get 4/3 for your final answer.